Okay, good morning once again, and we are back. I know that we are done with Module 1, where we talked about the basics of Excel, what is Excel, navigating Excel, talking about the basics of it, that's different parts, ribbons, the toolbars, and the rest of them. We have done this. We have also talked about how to navigate Excel. So we are done with Module 1. Now we are going to Module 2. Also another easy one. We are going to be dealing with just the first distance. So working with worksheets. This should help you know how to work with worksheets, impute, edit, format data efficiently. Topics like you just know how to run around, put things the way you want it to be. But of course, it's the basics. So for today, we are going to be doing how to create and manage a workbook. Now remember that there's a difference between a worksheet and a workbook. A workbook is when you go to your file, the one you see on your computer. Okay, so look at my file. This is a workbook. Now this particular file has the ability to contain different sheets, so it's a workbook, right? This is also a workbook. This is a workbook. So a worksheet only has maybe one sheet, or a worksheet refers to one sheet inside a workbook. So for now, we are going to be looking at opening, saving, closing a workbook. So remember that how I'm going to run around, I'm going to create a new one. Then I will look at where it is, open it. So going down to Excel, I click on that Excel icon. So this is a new sheet right now. Now, we have already thought around navigations, so I can go ahead to save. I can decide to save as or save, depending. Now, there's a difference between save as or save. If I open an existing file and maybe I want to make a modification, I can decide to save as something different so that the original one will still be there. So when you are saving as, you are leaving the original one. You have the option is to leave the original one there and have another copy. But you can still select save as and still go and select the original name, the main file that it's there. And it's going to ask you, do you want to replace file and the rest of them? But that's be talk for another day. So let's look at them. I want to save it, so I'll just save it on my. Where do I keep this file? I think I have. Where do I keep this file? So it's gonna be accessible. I want to be accessing it for quite a while. So let me just browse. Right. So okay. Let's save it inside this schedule. Let's drop it here. So basics, that's the name I'm giving it. So I click on save, right? So if you look at here, the name has changed to basics. So this is basically how to create a file. Now, we are talking about adding, opening, saving, and closing first of all. So I'm going to close this and I'm going to open it again. Now I've closed it. Now to open it again, there are two ways. I can come here and click on this Excel. It comes up as a fresh sheet. I can click on file and go to open, right? So I'll look at, there's the last file I saved. So it's the first. So I can click on that and it opens. So unfortunately, there is nothing in the cells. It's an empty sheet. So you wouldn't know whether it is there is no difference between this and the previous one. What you will use in knowing that it is the one you did is because this is book, this is an unsaved file, right? Now I can also decide not to open from here. I can close again. Now I can go to the sheets where I have the file. So I think I know where I saved it. So I'll just simply go there. I can go to where I have the file Excel. Where is it? Excel, yeah. I think I saved it in lessons. So I can click here and it will also open. So that's basically how to open an Excel sheet, right? Now I've also, let's see saving. saving. I've already closed severally. I've already closed several. So alternate F4 can also close your sheets when you do alternate then plus F4. So you can close your sheets. Now, I've shown you how to save. I've done save. Now, if I want to do save as, now it's taking me to the last directory that Excel knew for savings. And when I click on that directory, I see this one. Remember, I used save as. But if I still click this and say save, it will ask me if I want to replace it. I can say yes. Right? It's basically the same thing now. But if I want to have another file, I can say save as. Then I go here and maybe I change name here to ABC. Right? If I save, now this name is another file, but it's now named ABC. If you go to the directory having the files, you see now there are two different files. But yeah, that's that. There are two different files, so you can either save to replace using your normal save, or you can just use Control X, Control S. So S for snake, or yeah. So Control S can save. So that's even the easiest way to save. That's if you are not, if you don't want to change the name of the file, or you're just working on a file, just Control S to save. That's the basic shortcut for saving almost in all, in fact, across all the Microsoft Office environment or even Windows environment. So now let's look at adding, renaming, and deleting sheets. Remember, I told you that this thing that is open now is a workbook. So if I want to add a sheet, this is already called sheet 1. So this is the first worksheet. So I can just click the plus button, plus button, plus button, right? I can right click here and decide to how do I put it? I can even copy, like I select or move or copy. I can duplicate this particular sheet, or maybe when we have some things populated on the sheet, we will do that. So let's not do it now. So I can decide to rename this to A. I can decide to rename this to B. I can decide to rename this to C, and maybe this to D. Now I have 4 worksheets here. The worksheets are A, B, C, and D. They are all in a workbook called ABC. Do you understand? Now I can decide that I've already shown you renaming, I've shown you adding. Now I can decide to delete. I'll right click and delete. So most times, if there are, let me assume I want to delete this, but I've already kept some documents in it, Excel will always warn me that I want to delete something because there is something in the cell. So it's not an empty sheet. So it will not just delete it, right? So if you are deleting an empty sheet, is different. It may just delete without any warning, but deleting something, a sheet that's not empty, there will be a warning. So I think with this, we can say that we have done justice for today. Let's see you in the next one. Thank you.